Drogba indirdi ceza. Snyder. Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol! Muslera. Fernando Muslera. Golün adı Muslera. Sarıyoglu. Drogba. This is incredible.
Merhaba and welcome to episode 6 of the Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast done by the community for the community. From all around the world, I'm your host, Samet, and we have the full crew in today. From New York, America, we have Corporate Yasin. How are the stocks going, Yasin?
It's alright, man. Can't complain.
Good. And then we have our mobster, Emre. How's business, Tefeci?
It's good, man. We're gonna make the rounds later today.
Nice. From Waterlands, the Netherlands, we have historian Salih. Tell us something interesting, Salih.
All right, hey. An interesting fact that I found as of late is that people who are called Bill aren't actually called Bill. They're called William. And for me, at least, that was pretty mind-blowing. I know for Mozart it wasn't, but
Okay.
pretty sick.
I didn't know that at all. And from down under, Melbourne, Australia, Crocodile Mazar, where have you been? Good. You got bitten by a fish or something?
I'm a crocodile, bro. I had a few victims, you know?
Okay, that's good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Fine. We did forget our Hoja. Got our Hoja.
Oh, shit.
That's grimy, bro.
Yeah, well, from Nobody Cares, Toronto, Canada, Coach John. how your players?
I was waiting so patiently, and it never came. My players are doing well. We're doing well. It's match day for us today, so I'm gonna go after we're done here. I'm gonna go grab the 3 points, and unlike our friends today, I'll make it up with my own 3 points.
Shots fired.
Nice.
Beyond Motorent.
So, to our listeners, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you from wherever you're listening. Today's podcast, we have on the menu several topics. We'll briefly go through some recent events, bitch about Puzzle League, and discuss a bit more about the Kayseri Performance. And ahead of next week's game, we'll talk about the Göztepe match a bit as well and give our predictions. So I'll start off with saying I'm sorry for our listeners about the way I am today. I might be a bit under some medication, let's put it that way. But yeah, we have an announcement to make. Yasin, do you want to make the announcement? Really? Well, basically, me and a couple of guys from the podcast are going to Istanbul for the Beşiktaş and UEFA game. So hopefully we'll see John from Toronto in Istanbul and Yasin from New York in Istanbul. And we might do the podcast over there. So that'd be interesting. You guys are fine with that, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be.
That's the dream.
I'm sorry, Mazar, did you say anything?
I'm not coming, bro, so I'm just silent.
He's seething with jealousy. That's what's. Yeah,
I'm just jealous, bro. I'm just jealous.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't go because I'm gonna get detained by the fucking military. So,
What do you mean, detained?
You might want to clarify that.
well, yeah. So
Plead the fifth.
I still haven't extended my military sentence. You know, I never did. So from 18 and onwards, they're still waiting for me to, go and serve.
True.
But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. No, I
shit.
still have
Did
to
you
do
just
mine
confess?
as well. What did you say, Yasin? Yeah, Salih?
No, I just said, did you just confess you're never going to do it? That's a bit dangerous.
Plead the fifth.
I played the
exactly.
fifth. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Are you guys gonna do it either? Don't act like you guys are dying to fight for the country.
Nah.
Oh, wait, are we going to talk about football or politics? This
I
might
don't
be a
know.
bit dangerous.
Listen,
I
you're
don't know
gonna
if we
call
wanna
me out.
impress
I'm
these
gonna call
waters.
you out.
Solly got excited there.
Yeah, I got a bit excited.
Nah, I
Probably,
extended
I
mine,
mean-
bro.
Yeah, I extended as well. I'll probably just pay whatever sum they'll throw at me and just skip it. And now you know.
Cool. I think the only
You don't
one
know, now you know.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. I think Yasin, you have some interesting news, recent events for us.
I mean, I just want to
Recap of the midweek.
Yeah. I mean, nothing too crazy, just some rumors. Something that was kind of interesting was the whole is Terim going to become president rumors. Obviously, the club is in shambles right now, especially at the top with the board. So, along with a lot of potentially fake news out there last few weeks, one of them is now Terim is preparing to become president of Galatasaray. Whether that's a good idea or not, I'm sure we can argue for hours, but I thought that was interesting. Another one is Gomis. You know, right away, he joined the team and he's already doing leadership stuff. You know, he's taking the team out to dinner. I think it was Wednesday night. He took the entire team out to dinner. He invited Matt Chetin, which was our previous translator there as well. I thought that was cool because the team does need morale boost. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for today's match. Also, Hakan Balta, our ex-player, who was also part of, I guess, Terim's coaching team in his previous stint, is now the U19 coach, and they won their first game. Unfortunately, I think they either tied or lost today. I forgot what the score was, but you know, he started off well. Hopefully, he's successful, and maybe we'll see him as a coach one day.
That's one guy that didn't get fired after Terim's departure from his previous, coaching staff.
Who?
Was he really part of the... He was more of an analyst, right? Or he was like someone in the background, right? He wasn't really actively on the field.
Yeah,
training.
Correct. He wasn't actively on the field. I guess I meant more like his technical staff. I think he worked with that one dude. I forget his name now, but I think he was part of like the transfer team, you know, in terms of going to other countries or discussing, contracts and stuff like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what I remember.
Mm-hmm. No, that's how I remember it as well. On the Gomis thing, though, quickly, you mentioned how it's a good thing to do as a leader, right? But would you have said the same if, for example, Arda did it, or like an Ömer? Because if they did it, we probably would say, that's probably all they were gonna do, right? Just giving out cake, food, just, extra stuff.
No, they
in my
take
opinion,
him
I mean,
to...
it's nice, but I don't really see much in it.
Arda would
That's
just
my
take him
take.
to get nargile.
I guess looking back, it's a different story. But did Arda do anything like that when he first joined? I don't remember. Like it's something that you. It's also more expected from a player like Arda, who is our youth player, who reminds us over and over again how important he is to this club and how much money he earned this club and how much of a dad he is and an abi he is. I expect these things from him, and I wouldn't make a big deal of it, but. Gomis, this guy who played, what was it, a year and a half for us. He left and then came back 3 years later. He's 30-something years old. He's a Yabancı. He's not a youth player. He comes and this is the first thing he does. I thought that was pretty cool and something to, talk about.
Oh, that's a good take.
Yeah, Gomis is always positive.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him.
Also, you don't expect it from Gomis, like Yasin said. And in times like these, we need that. And the other thing is, Gomis actually does something on the pitch, unlike Arda.
Yes, that's true. And he doesn't have a massive göbek to go along with that,
Bro, Gomis just came. What are you talking about? What has he done on the pitch?
Bro, in one game, he did way more than Arda did in the past year and a half that he's been here.
That is hard to argue against. I will say that.
Yeah, he was okay. Anyway, I'm bottling this episode, guys. I am feeling this drink already, so
enjoy.
Is it for your stomach or what type of medication was it?
Yeah. And that it's Japanese drink or something called green grape.
Doju?
I don't know. What does it look like?
Yeah,
I think so.
It looks like
so. Yeah,
I think it's Korean. Racist.
Yeah, it is.
It's bro.
So good.
Go easy on that, bro.
Too late.
Yeah, I didn't know it hit that hard.
As he sips another one.
Don't worry, we'll take over if Summit is incapacitated. We got this.
Hold on, what were we discussing next?
I believe we're talking about Gomis, and then we transitioned over to
And then Hakan
Göbekli
Balta,
Arda.
I guess. Yeah, and Arda as well.
Mm.
True.
Yeah, do you guys want my opinion on any of that?
Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
About which one?
You choose, brother.
Let's go one by one.
To be honest, yeah, great job, Gomis. Like that's what we need. We need to get the guys together, create some happiness out there. Especially in these hard times where everyone is basically against the board and against the players as well now with all the losses. And yeah, we need to start winning, man. We need to start winning. We're close to the relegation zone. If we don't start winning, yeah, I fear the worst, man. That's
Mhm.
basically it. It's football is a results game, so yeah.
It tells you a lot that if we would have won today, we would have still been 13th. Like it wouldn't actually change in the table. It's
Yeah,
pretty fascinating to me.
table wise, it wouldn't change, but I think the important factor that would change is the atmosphere that the fans give towards the club, the situation in the club itself, the players. It would mean a lot of confidence as well. And unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot tonight. So
Mhm.
maybe that's our cue to go on to the Kayserispor performance of today.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to take the first XY, or do you want me to call them out?
I mean, um, yeah, I can name it. I could name it. However, I'm gonna
No,
do it a bit
I'll do
differently.
it, and I'll give you the stats. Or no, you do it.
Okay, that's fine. Um, I won't name the entire first 11 as I'll just name the changes. That's probably better for our listeners as well. So what we've seen this match is that Gomez has his first start uh, playing up front. We've seen Bowie take over Ömer's role at right back. We saw Feguli actually play at 10 instead of Chikaldao. And we saw, unfortunately, Babel on the right wing. Now, at first, I thought that I had no clue why he started. I was like, should have been benched, but apparently Emre Kılınç has some stomach pain or whatever, so he wasn't available, also not on the bench. So we had to do something, and according to Torrent, Babel seemed to be the best choice for that. Some other notable things, I saw that Omar El Abdellaoui was on the bench, also for the first time in the Super League. Momo was back on the bench. I also noted that Arda wasn't on the bench, which I obviously don't mind at all. Like, we saw Barış instead of him. And another thing I saw was there was also only one keeper. I think it was Ismail Chipe. Like, we took Berk out because I think he's loaned out to Nide, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Nide Anadolu. But yeah, all in all, I would say that this lineup, I think no one would have guessed it. Like, the fact that Feguli started, Babel again. We were expecting to see Pulga right, and just Emre Kılınç at his position. But yeah, what do you guys think of the lineup?
I mean,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Yes.
I mean, I kind of respect Salih's approach to go about what did change, but my concern actually is what didn't change from last week, and that's Taylan and Berkan in the midfield. Man, that is just not a fun time in a lot of ways. In our attack, when we need to be scoring, when you have Berkan and Taylan on at the same time, it's just not a fun time as both a viewer watching Galatasaray play, but also these players on the field. Like, there's nothing dynamic in that midfield. I thought, and more so, I guess I hoped we would play a midfield like, I don't know, Eric, you would play with Chikaldao and maybe even Halil in number 10. You would tackle both that defensive problem with Eric, but also that attacking issue with both Chikaldao and Halil playing behind the striker. I thought that would have been fun. I thought that would have solved their issue. But none of those guys started. We continued with the same guys that caused us issues. We continued with Feguli, who plays one good game and then bad 5. I will not question his quality. We saw that in the first half. But he reminded us instantly, right after that one piece of quality, why he shouldn't play. What was that shot? I mean, from a guy like Feguli, you expect him to find a corner, at least challenge the keeper. He didn't even do that. That's a shot I expect from a player like Berkan, who's not supposed to be taking shots all the time.
That's been the general theme with all of our players as of late, right? Like, nobody can finish.
Yeah,
That is very true.
I mean, before, I guess, we go into more of, I guess, what we saw in the first half, I just want to point that out real quick about the starting 11. Very frustrating, and I think we saw the issue with it in the first half. It didn't take us long to realize, that we were right in seeing that that's a problem, and it's concerning that Torrent did start with that starting 11. I'm not a fan of it, but that's, I guess, a conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what I wanted to say, I did indeed mention the changes. And what indeed surprised me the most is that we still went with Feghouli and Babel. And as you've said before, I also rather would have seen Halil at 10, especially since Torren did make a comment about him as a player, like that he's not a striker, but he's more of a 10. So I was expecting him to start. And it would have been handy for the foreigner rule as well, as he's Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
But we somehow didn't see it. I have no idea why. I also don't know if there's like a post-match comment on that. I don't think there is. But unique lineup. That's all I can say. I don't know if anyone else has something to add, like Mazar or Emre. Or
I can make a case for Feghouli playing, even if it's a small case. But I really can't really fathom how Babel is playing when we have Morutsan. Like, is this guy made of like brittle like sticks? Why is he not able to play a full 90 minutes? And instead you have
Morutsan hasn't been good for us, bro.
Has Babel
he's
been good
lacking.
for us? Babel has been 10 times worse if you ask me. And when Morutsan comes in, at least he
I
provides
don't
some
think
dynamic.
he loses the ball as often as Morutsan does in very important positions.
I don't think he's as active as Morutsan in getting us into positions.
Sure, but he doesn't lose the ball in those important positions, which leads to a goal.
Where's the positions that you speak of? Because I haven't seen many.
What I mean, like Babel usually is pretty good on the ball. When he gets him, he tends to not lose him as much as Morutsan.
I like Babel.
Yeah.
In
And I'm not
situations,
saying I like him, right? I'm not saying I like him. But if I were a coach, at the moment, what I've seen from Morutsan is, he can lose the ball easily. And we already have Kerem that's doing the actions and losing the ball. Especially this game, he lost the ball a lot. But he was trying, right? That's his role.
But
so
as much as he
Babel.
lost the ball, Kerem is like basically our only threat going forward. And like, yes, Babel can hold the ball, but that's the type of skill set you need when you're like counterattacking. You throw the ball up the field, you need somebody to hold the ball and distribute.
I was fine with Babel. The only problem I had was he was playing on the opposite wing.
That's also another problem. Like, he's not even in his original like position.
Yeah, so what you see is he was getting... Normally he's on left wing, right? So he was on the right wing this time, and you could see he was going more into the midfield rather than going deep to the line. And that's what's important. You have to widen the field, and he didn't quite do that. And that also messed it up a bit.
And we were very slow going like forward too. You know what I mean? Like, with Mortan, at least you have some more action going forward. With Baba, he's just so stagnant.
I'm not a big fan of Morutan yet, Emre. We should ask what John thinks as the licensed
as our Hoja.
Exactly.
Listen,
Tell me, Hojam.
Listen, I think for in terms of Babel, speaking about him first, I am not really a fan of him. Like, he's just not an effective winger for me. Like, he just doesn't really bring any real pace. And like you guys mentioned as well.
Can I ask you, John, why was he effective at Beşiktaş and Fulham?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I'm not really I can't remember, how those teams were playing or what other players they had, or, how they were moving the ball on the pitch, stuff like that. But when I look at him and the players that we have and what we're trying to do, like, we have Kerem on the other side who's brings some real pace and gives defenders some real issues when he goes forward. And I never see Babel doing that ever. And I would like to see another player like Kerem on the other side. And Babel, I mean, I don't know. He's just not it for me. Like, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, I think it was Yasin mentioning that he would like to see Babel at striker if we're like desperate or if we need someone to play there. He thinks he's more suitable in that role. And I do agree with that, even though I don't think he's good in that role either. I just don't like him in general, but definitely not on the wing. And in terms of Feghouli as well, that you guys were mentioning, I don't know, man. He's not a bad player in that role, playing in number 10 a little bit higher up the pitch behind the striker, but I don't know, man. I'd like to see something else. And exactly like Yasin and I have discussed that same thing as well, using Khalil in that position. I think he could be really good there. But I don't know, man. The clock is ticking with Babel and Faguli, and
Halil is useless. Right, Mazar?
Look, I don't know if I'd call him useless because he's useful for one thing, and that's opening up foreigner spots, right? So if we had Halil playing in Faguli,
That's a good quality to mention. The
I
fact
mean-
that
so
you
I
have
mean,
proven
look,
if
foreigner
he
spots,
does
that's
if he
all.
does nothing, he opens up a foreigner spot for us. So if he played in Faguli's position instead of Thailand, we could have had Eric there, and that would have been night and day difference in my opinion, anyway.
Goddamn TFF and their
yeah, that
foreign
yeah.
limit.
And the other thing with Babel, you guys were talking about. I just want to add one thing. Yeah, he doesn't lose the ball as much as Morutsan. That's because he's just so stagnant and just so passive. If he doesn't take any risks, he's not gonna lose the ball, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you.
How I would have seen Babel rather be used, because he's so stagnant and he can hold the ball pretty well. I would just use him as a sub once we're like ahead. I know it doesn't happen often as of late, but
Ahead.
he's
Yeah.
good at that. But besides that, he doesn't take any risks. Indeed, he's not your typical winger. I know Morton isn't either, but for Morton, at least he has some, how should I say, some class to him. I mean, he's pretty technical in a way. Yes, he does lose the ball a lot, but I would rather start with Morton and then sub in Babel.
Yeah, Babel
Rather
to
than the other way around.
maintain the match for us when we're ahead. I would sub
Exactly.
him in for that sole purpose, just to maintain. Like
Exactly.
because he's not he's not doing anything. He's not scoring. He's not assisting. He's not making it difficult for defenders or anything like that. So exactly like what you just said. If we're winning the match and we just need to maintain it for the next 15 minutes or so, then that's a sub I don't mind. But when we're in a position where we need to win the match, he's just not effective.
He's not it. He's just not it. I mean, you see it. He's pretty physical. He can definitely like hold up the ball and win his duels, but that's about it. I feel like, I mean, the same happened last year, right? With Arda. Arda starting most of the matches while I fought. I'd rather have him as a sub. He's not a first 11 type player to continue performing, if you can even call performing, for like 60, 70 minutes. So, yeah, that's just what I think.
To add on to
Babel,
that,
honestly.
I want to talk about the mentality of being a sub too, especially when you need to either win a game, do something that is impactful. You have to have a quality that kind of makes the fans think this guy can pull something out of nowhere when we need it. Is Mototan really that guy? And should we expect that from Mototan right now? Because to me, Mototan coming on in what minute did he come? Let's see. The 81st minute when it was tied 1-1. This kid has immense pressure on his shoulders. Not only is the team in shambles right now, but he has this mentality coming on the field. Okay, I need to impress. I need to do something wild so that, the coach can back me up so I can start. I need to prove myself. And that comes with pressure too. Mototan is a young kid. It's his first year in the Super League. It's his first year outside of his comfort zone, which is the Romanian league. I think it's too much to ask from him. I mean, during the game, I was telling myself I wish Mototan would come on too. But looking back at it, and, Salih, I think you made a good point about Babel coming on as a sub makes more sense. And the mentality aspect of it makes sense in that way too. Babel he knows what to do. He knows how to change the game. He's scored these goals that have changed games before, whether it's with us or with Beşiktaş. He has that maturity. Even though we can criticize Babel in so many different ways, if we're going to make use out of this guy who has 4 months left, I think the best way is as a sub, as an impact sub, because you're not going to get that impact from a player like, Mototan off the bench more oftentimes than not,
And on that pressure you mentioned before, you can clearly see it when Morton comes on. Like, I feel like he just tries too hard. Like, he goes in too hard or whatever, and then loses the ball again. And then, the fans will be like, see,
Yep.
Samet mentioned before, like, hey, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, if you only have like 10 minutes to prove yourself in a usually a bad situation like this one, we were behind when he came on. I mean, I do feel for him. He's still indeed a young kid. His first season here. Some players just take longer than others to settle in, and for him, I guess, just take some more time.
I wanted to ask for my New York boys, maybe start with Emre. did you find the starting XY with Gomis justified, or would you rather have seen that we started with Mustafa Mohamed?
You okay, you meant XI, but grant you that.
What did I
I
say?
XY. What chromosomes? XY chromosomes.
A lot. I'm not sure what
Uh,
I'm saying though.
All right. So I kind of get why they went with Gomes. Like Yasin had mentioned earlier, he's bringing that positivity, that leadership to the field, and I think Torrent would have, like, I think what he imagined was that Torrent saw that Gomez can, bring that leadership and some positivity, keep the guys upfield with his pressing, with his presence, bring the, Kayseri players at bay, allowing us to push forward. And in hindsight, I think maybe should have just went with Momo because essentially he's the one that came in, he scored, found the position. So, but I can't really say it was a wrong decision. I kind of get where he went with it. So I kind of agree with it. I can't say it's wrong, nor was it right. I think it was best given the option.
hmm I think it just makes a lot of sense to start him, especially if you look from the board's perspective. I mean, a lot of fans did like doubt this signing a bit because he is indeed 37, I think. Like signing him right away and then not using him would have probably raised even more questions. So I was fine with him starting as well. He was pretty hungry, as we saw in the match. Like he took shots from everywhere, whether it made sense or not. But
I think
yeah,
his
I mean,
I think his dreadlocks slowed him down quite a lot.
I think it's that big booty of his.
Big bunda.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
But,
sorry to cut you off, Sally. Go ahead.
no worries. I was just gonna. I mean, we've had the first 11 kind of covered now, so I wonder what you think of the first half performance in general. Yasin, if I may start
No,
with
no,
you.
no.
I know you've already
no,
mentioned
no,
it, but
no.
No?
Yasin does not get to speak.
Okay.
oh, okay. I guess John then.
And before me, no, like Yasin can go after me because last episode.
No.
No, no, no,
I
no.
remember that.
Go ahead,
No.
man.
But
I'm gonna speak anyway.
There's not much to talk about in the first half.
No, I mean, the last episode, I've said all I wanted to say. We are not improving over what we did before. We are degrading our gameplay. And today was another show of that as well. Our defense, I don't recall giving away positions like we had today
Yes.
before. And I don't think we have. Mainly, what we had before was, refereeing error for one. And if you put that aside, another thing that we had was individual mistakes, losing the ball in the defense and that resulting to a goal. Nobody scored against us in an open play like we are getting right now. So, hey, like I said as well, I give the guy 1.5 year. Feel free, your playground. Do what you want. Let's degrade. Let's go to PTT Birinci League and come back up. You got 1.5 year contract, so I'm all for it. I support Galatasaray as long as we become better.
Mhm.
So that's a bit my take. In today's game, what I liked is we had much more possession than the Alanya game. We actually tried to make some plays, but we didn't get into too many positions. But we did get into a lot of positions, but not too many, if you feel me. Oh my God, what am I saying? Go ahead, Yasin. Let's hear your take.
Wait,
Or
may I
Salih.
quickly? I know now Yasin is now the third one in the pecking order, but I do have to disagree a bit with that. I don't think today we played. Okay, look. In the end, we didn't get the result. That's what matters, right? And if you look at it from that way, no, we didn't improve. We still got a draw at home against Kayseri. Totally unacceptable. However, I don't think this match was as bad as the previous ones. I actually think this was indeed, like you said before, it reminds me more of just, I guess, pre-torrent games where we did have the occasional chance here and there, but we just didn't finish them. Because Kayseri barely had the ball. We played mainly in their half as well. It's just, at times we're clueless, but I just feel like we're kind of back at the beginning in a way, if I may say it that way. That's just what I had thought. So, Yasin, the floor is yours. You can now tell whatever you want to say.
I'm gonna let somebody else talk before me. John, I'm sure you
Sure.
have something valuable to say, right?
Let me take a deep breath first. I don't want the Turkish temper to come out on the podcast right now.
See it.
Let me back up just 1 second first before I tell you what I think. So, I not to sound like a broken record or to sound like I'm repeating myself every single time, but I've mentioned, a few times now that I am always in favor of keeping possession of the ball. That is my philosophy. I like enjoying the ball. I like having the ball. I don't mind passing backwards if it means we're in control of the match. I don't mind that. I've said that many times before.
You like balls, huh?
When we're in possession. Yes, I do. Listen, I am the possession guy. I like that. But today what I'm seeing, and I really, really hope this is not something we're seeing in the next few weeks. We had brilliant amount of possession, okay? In the opening 10 minutes, 71% possession. I think at the end of the match, we were up to 66, 67%. Fantastic. But the thing is that there's no purpose in it. There's no purpose. We're keeping all of this possession for absolutely no reason. We're not finding very many creating dangerous opportunities or goal-scoring chances. We're enjoying the ball, which is fantastic. I'm all for that. I love it. I love seeing that. But, we just look like we're content doing that. It doesn't look like we're switched on in such a way where we're going to be scoring goals. Like we mentioned earlier, the chance that we had with Feghouli. And it's like he gave him a gift from, I don't know if he was just outside the box or just inside of it, but it was a gift. And it's like, you do all the hard work, you keep possession, you set up in their half, we're moving the ball, switching the ball, playing through the middle, playing back out wide, but it's for nothing. There's absolutely no purpose in it. And that drives me insane. Like we started with Gomes, he looked really hungry to score right from the first minute. In the first 3 minutes of the match, he had 2 touches inside the box. In the first
biggest mistake to get him out. Biggest mistake.
Yeah, I mean, 7 minutes into the match, he had 3 or 4 touches in the box. He was looking to score, right? And I said last week as well, I always say history repeats itself. And he started his first match with us was with Kayseri as well. He scored 2 goals there, so my prediction was 2-0. I thought he would do that again. And it looked for a minute like he was going to. He had some good chances in the second half as well, which maybe we'll touch on. But my main point is that, I love the possession. It's fantastic. I love keeping 70%, but it's for nothing. And we don't look like we want to go forward. It just doesn't look like that. And it's driving me insane. So maybe if we can, we got that down. Okay, good. We're controlling the match. We have possession of the ball. But if we can look to play forward a bit more and have some intent, then I think we'll start seeing some better results.
Yeah.
I agree with John. Sorry, bro. Are you gonna?
No, you go. You've been absent a while. I'm gonna leave the floor to you, baby.
All right, I'll be quick. I promise. All right, so I agree with John, with saying that we're passing. We have a high percentage passing, high percentage possession. I think we finished the game with like 550 short passes, something like that. And true, we aren't really lethal, especially in the final third. We're not really opening them up with those passes, right? But having said that, it's only been 5 weeks.
Would you say we used to be more
No,
lethal?
we're not lethal. Well, we weren't playing like this, and so it's really hard to say. And we were very on and off, right, when we had Tedim. So we were playing in the Europa, yeah, sure, we were lethal with our passes. Especially, we know against Lokomotiv and stuff, we had some nice string of passes that led to some nice goals. But in the Super League, we weren't doing that.
We were lethal everywhere. We were lethal everywhere.
No,
we got into positions. We just couldn't net it, bro. That's it.
We're having the same problem now. We had like 25 shots or something on target by the end of the match. And a lot of them, like Babel's header, he should have hit that in. I think it was Babel. I don't want to misspeak, but yeah, like that was so close. Fegouli's shot, that was so close. Just net it in, bro. Just go in. That should have been a 3-1 game easily. easily.
Jajal Dow had a position too if he
Yes.
crossed it or
Yes, he
squared it.
Yes, he did. Like it's
So those
I
final
think-
decisions is costing us a
Exactly.
lot of points.
exactly like these are 3-4 goals easily that should go in. Anyway, what I was saying before with the passing, it's gonna take time for us to be able to open them up with this. I wouldn't say tiki taka, but with this short passing, short quick passing. Like we did it once in I think the 3rd minute. I think Gormy Scott had the shot by the end of it, but we were passing. We found the hole and then straight through. We got a couple of nice passes and we're right in front of the goal. It's gonna take time.
Right.
It's gonna take time. We can't expect him to move. By him, I mean Torrent to move mountains in the first 4 or 5 weeks of being a coach. But look, I'm gonna say it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. If
You see the light or you don't see the light?
I do see the light. I do see the light. Like, give it a couple more weeks. Let's see how it goes. But I think we're headed in the right direction.
What color is the light?
I'm inclined to disagree with that.
You're
now,
more than
but,
welcome. It's a hot take. I know it's a hot take.
Right. It's a very hot take, but you could be right, and I hope you're right. But so before you took over, I was gonna say, before I was gonna get into it, so Yasin provided us some statistics by a man named Mac Paquet. So he analyzed our games under Torrent and those before Tatum. So analyzed both and the differences.
Here we go.
So remember what I say last week? I said this game was going to be the checkpoint for me, right?
Can we put a disclaimer?
Disclaimer. So this is my checkpoint. Doesn't mean I want Torrent out or anything. I'm just putting the facts out there. And yeah, I said, I believe I said before, when the new coach comes, you do expect some positive reinforcement, some changes, right? So the best example I can give is Emre Belezoğlu when he took over Başakşehir. They were on a string of losses. He took over on October 4th, and his game he went up against won that game. So, and then he continued to win multiple games after that. So it's not unlikely that coaches take over and bring immediate change. But that's what I was hoping with Torrent. So back to what Summit was saying, the most jarring thing for me is how much we regressed in our defense. Before Torrent, our XG against us was 108. Now, ever since Torrent took over, it's 1.85. Shots against us before Torrent, 9.45. Now with Torrent, 14.75. So you can see our defense is getting worse and worse. And it's one of the areas that I expect Torrent to improve. Yes, the attacking can take time to lay down a system. Players need to get used to it. But this defense is really, really screwing us. So I agree with you on that, Summit.
Look at that before he came though.
Just to play devil's advocate, I mean, is it any different than what we used to play?
Right
What do
now,
you
you
mean?
mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm speaking strictly defense. That's my biggest complaint of Torrent is how much worse we are. Because Kayseri is not really a great team, right? But their attacks, they get to our final third so easily. If they had more quality up front, they would probably have beaten us today,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I think
That
that's
is
Yasin's
true.
cue. That's Yasin's
that
cue.
is true. But
I mean-
on the other hand, oh wait, Yasin, yeah, you go ahead. Sorry.
Dude, there's just so much to say. I don't know where to start. If we're gonna talk about post and pre-Tedim and how long the team's gonna take before we start to see changes, I think we should go to pre and post. What's his name? Tudor, right? We were playing very attacking football, very exciting, very high press. Every single player was running all the time, and then we sacked the guy, but we continued to play the same way with Tedim for the next 6 months. And then after a while, then you start to see the effect of Tedim, who was a coach at the time. And whether that's positive or negative, we did see a difference, right? And I don't expect to see that difference right away after a month. And I will continue to say the same thing a month from now or 2 months from now. But with that said, I kind of want to get away from this conversation of pre and post Tedim and talking about comparing Torrent to him. I do have some criticism. I guess speaking of Tedim, I wish we can hire Tedim as a consultant. Just bring the guy and fire him up. You know why I say that? Because today, in the first half, before the game started, we were all hype. This is the game. Kayseri game is the one we're going to win. Whether it's 2-0, 3-0, we're going to win it. We're going to score a lot of goals. Gomes is going to play. The players are available. Torrent doesn't have excuses. Kayseri just played 3 days ago. And what did we see? A very boring, frustrating first half. And part of that was the players, they just didn't look lively. They really did not. Maybe the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, they looked, energetic. But what the hell happened after that until the 45th?
They started walking. Just waltzing around.
It just was so frustrating. And the fans were booing it, which made it worse. I don't want to talk too much about that. I think it's ridiculous that the fans are booing our own players. But I understand why they did it. I don't think it's okay, but I understand why. Because sitting on my couch at home, I was so frustrated. And this is not just a team, from a Galatasaray's perspective, we have 100 reasons why we should play energetic. But the team you're playing against just played 3 days ago in heavy rain with a man down for 30, 40 minutes against Fenerbahce. Like, you would expect they're tired. It doesn't matter. They won from a free kick in the last minute of the game. That's besides the point. You would expect a Kayseri who's tired and who doesn't have as much energy as they normally would. Fine, their form is way better than ours. Okay, I'm not going to paint Kayseri to be this, terrible team, because they're not. But I would expect more. What did Kayseri have to do against us in that first half? I'm sure, Hikmet Karaman, their coach, was just watching this game like, okay, continue to pass the ball between yourselves. I guess my team doesn't have to do anything. I guess my team doesn't have to run. It's a good thing they don't have to run because they don't have the energy to. So that first half was easy for them. I mean, we barely did anything, and that was so frustrating. But with that said, I think Torrent did make good subs in the second half this time compared to last week, which is a bit late. Putting in Chikaldao and Mohamed in the 60th minute. Props to John. We were talking in the chat, at halftime, and we were all expecting subs at the 45th minute before the second half started. Everybody was pissed because we didn't see it. I was pissed. Everybody was pissed. And then John, the coach, goes, I expect subs at the 60th minute. And that's what happened. Two subs came, and it made a hell of an impact. And, the subs after that made more sense too. Without getting into the specific subs, I also do want to say, and I guess propose a question to you guys. What changed in that second half when we all of a sudden were taking shots left and right, when we were getting all these chances? That football that we played in that last 30, 40 minutes, was that Torrent football? Was that Terim football? Or do you want to just classify it as bum, bum, bum? I mean, I didn't see a specific tactic in the second half, but what I saw was the right players, Chikaldao, Mohamed on the field, and the team responding to these boos and saying, okay, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this, passing bullshit in the first half. Let's just attack because we're down 1-0. Or, we were actually starting to attack before the 1-0, but we need to do something. We need to change something. So it looked like, I don't want to discredit Torrent too much here, but it looked like a reaction from the players themselves saying, all right, boys, let's just stack the front. Let's just attack. Go down the wings, let's quick passing, fine. Maybe we can credit Torrent there, but we were just attacking left, right, taking shots. And I did like that, but I would like to see that in the next game from the get-go. Let's quit this slow bullshit in the first half, especially against a team that would be tired like Kayseri, and just attack them. And I think that's kind of the problem with this whole criticism that Samet and Manuel, you guys mentioned on, we let up more goals, we let up more positions. If you're going to sit back and play a more relaxed game, passing game, you're allowing the other team to come forward more. I think there needs to be a proper balance between attacking often, up the pitch, but also remaining a very disciplined defensive line. And, whether that's going to be with the back four and 2 CDMs or 1 CDM of Eric, those guys stay disciplined. Eric stays disciplined. He goes up and forward when he needs to, but the rest of the guys, they just need to go up. We didn't see that today. Faguli, bro, he's playing number 10. And this guy was walking next to Thailand that first half. I can't explain to you how frustrating that was, because part of me was looking at it from an optimistic standpoint. Oh, Faguli, this guy is, magical sometimes.
Stop. Yes,
I have to stop, right? Take it from me, bro.
Bro, Faguli. Okay, I don't agree. I like Faguli. his worst case Feghouli scenario is still a high quality player. He's very self.
It's a lot of vision.
He has a lot of vision. He knows when to pass. He is calm on the ball, takes his time. He's looking at his teammates. Are they making the run so I can pass them? Every striker would wish to have like a Feghouli behind them because he can make those passes to the striker.
Fegouli's a 45-minute player, though. That's the problem with
Exactly.
If that.
Yeah, we need Ramadan Feghouli. Sure, condition wise, health-wise.
Is Ramadan every 2 years now, and I'm not aware of it? I haven't seen Feghouli
I
do
think
shit for a couple of years now. I don't know
it's
about you.
next month, so we should see. I think it's next month. Right?
Did we see him last year? Did we see him in
April.
Ramadan last year? I don't think we did.
No.
I think he
He's
did
checked out.
perform in AFCON last year, Ramadan. So
I think
I'm officially drunk. So
All right. Yo,
I
let's
think the
side
problem,
speak.
yeah, just very. I think the problem with Feghouli dropping to like the sixth position was that, look, okay, I personally do rate Bergkamp, but like his attacking skills aren't the
No,
best,
lacking.
and we saw him running up all the time, like in the 10th position, almost like a second striker at times, and that's just that I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, why is Feghouli then this far back while Bergkamp is like running up the field? I know he had to press a lot in the beginning, and that's what we did the first 20 minutes, right? Like, we didn't give Kayseri a lot of breathing room, but yeah, to me it was also a very strange image to see. Like,
You know what's
to
funny?
see Feghouli to drop so far back, and it's not even a problem if he drops back. The problem is he didn't run forward again. Like, he stayed around that area usually.
Funny you mentioned that. Now, like, people being out of position. First half, Babad. When I didn't watch the first 10 minutes. I saw like afterwards, and I'm just seeing Babad as if he's like in a right back position because I'm seeing Sasha Bowie going into the box more often than I see Babad. So like, what's going on? Why? What is it?
I
with
don't
these
know what
people-
the fuck
players?
we're doing, bro.
What kind of instructions they're being given?
I think what this reminds me of a bit. It reminds me a bit, very far stretch, a bit of City, as in they also use inverted wingbacks, right? Like they go centrally more. That's what I see from Arnold a lot, and indeed it also happened a lot with Sasha Bowie. Like Babel tried to stay wide, but he's not a good winger, but that's what he was instructed to do. And Bowie would like go into the half spaces pretty much. As you said before, it just doesn't work though. At least not for now. Maybe later.
I don't think it'll ever work with Babad.
Maybe John can confirm that, as our licensed Hoja, but that's what I saw at least. Funny that Emir mentioned it, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, sounds legit. Can't really argue with that. I mean, if I can as well, if I could just take a step back and I just want to say two things about our midfield. So, first of all, no matter how you cut it, Berkan, Taylan, Feghouli, Berkan, Taylan, Chikaldao, no matter how you arrange those 3 or 4 players, it's not going to work. It's just not. Like, holding the ball, they're decent. When we're in possession and holding the ball, I don't have a problem. But they offer nothing going forward. They offer us absolutely nothing. Berkan offers us nothing going forward. Taylan, nothing. Feghouli, that's not his position. I've never liked him in that position. I never want to see him there. And, that is what it is. He misses from inside the box, like easy chances. That's just not his position, So no matter how you cut it, it's not going to work. We don't have the creativity there. They offer us nothing.
Before Yasin flames you about Berkan, he was mentioning that the subs made an impact. Do you think that Caldao brought some sort of like movement because Feghouli came off? Because when he came on, it seems like we actually pressed more.
We did.
We were more dynamic.
Yeah.
You think it has to do with Caldao?
Of course. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, like I
like
would
he was
prefer. Mhm.
No, like he was saying, is it because the fans giving our players shit, and then as a reaction to that, or is it actual change of Chikaldao? Because most people don't rate Chikaldao, and I find that fun. I actually really like Chikaldao. He's just not the flashy type player. needs to be where he needs to
Yeah.
be, and he does what he needs to do.
And it's like I would have preferred him to play over Faguli. I don't like Faguli in that position, but like I said, it
Same.
doesn't matter how you cut it. Like that, Chicaldao is not good in that position either. He's a good player, and also to the point you made about Berkan, I don't want Yasin to flame me because I like Berkan. I like him a lot. It's just that he doesn't offer us anything going forward offensively, and neither Chicaldao is like he's not really that type of player either, and Thailand certainly isn't either. So, you know, when I was mentioning earlier that we're enjoying a lot of possession, but it's without purpose. We don't even have the midfielders. Like, there's no players centrally to make it happen for us. Who's gonna make it happen? Those three players it doesn't work. And even at the beginning of the season as well, when we saw Berkan coming in, Thailand was coming off a really good season. I said right from the start, because everyone was saying that we were gonna have Jedson, Berkan, and Thailand. That's not gonna work either. We might see an improvement, but that's an imbalance. That's an imbalanced midfield. You have too
Thailand's
many
not it,
players
man.
that are similar. It's not going to work. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind as well. And, you know, everyone's talking about how our defense has decreased with Torrent, which I agree, but I don't think I think that we're looking at it, we're zooming in on our back four when I don't think that's the issue. The issue is our collective defending. It's horrible. Like today and our last game as well, those three players that are playing midfield, do you know how many times, you know, since we're set up in the other team's half, those three players are pushed so high up the pitch that there's a major gap behind them in front of our back line where the other team plays the ball in and they're driving right at our back line, right? It's the collective defending from the team that's horrible. It's not necessarily the back four, right?
We're not trying to defend, John. It's we're trying to pressure, win the ball. It's a bit what Torrent probably learned with Guardiola, indeed. And I don't see us actively defending like we used to do.
Look at Guardiola's players and look at our players. I don't know if Torrent expects to be
They're
able to
the
play
same.
the same.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like with collective defending, we were doing it better with Fatih Terim. We're not
That's what I'm
defending
saying.
collectively right now. It's just not happening. So that's one thing we're doing better with Terim for sure.
Back to the
Can we
point
stop
where,
the Terim talk, please?
No.
I agree.
New chapter, new era. We're losing. I know. Ever since we started the podcast, we're losing over and over. We haven't seen a win since we started the podcast.
Is it time to hang the boots?
It's terrible. We're all in shambles. Maybe we should stop the podcast and start winning.
No. It's not us, bro.
No, that can't be it.
This is too fun, bro. We can't stop now.
But we'll get him next time at Gustav. Don't worry.
No, I've heard that one before.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Next time. It's been 5 weeks like this already. Next time. Yeter artık.
Yeah, it is
It's like
sick.
that
Yoruldum.
stain from Köyden indim şehre.
The day will
Yeah,
come.
Daha
Sorry.
gelmedi mi? Did
Our
he not
form
come
is
yet?
really horrible. It's really horrible. We've literally won one game out of 13. That's just like.
Have you
how on
seen
earth did that
Göztepe's
happen?
form? They won their 5 matches. Last 5 games they won.
Sorry, they're gonna lose next week.
I think.
Did you see
Huh?
Kayseri's form, by the way? They won.
No.
They won 9 out of 10. They lost one game total out of their last 10. So they're really in form actually.
Ne hallere düştük abi ya.
Kayseri is 10th place too.
I know. They score more than us. How many
They
goals
less-
per match? Yeah,
apparently
they
less
score like
than us too.
1.5 goals per match. We do 1.2. Like, they're
Their goal difference is better than ours too.
it's a, how can I put it? It's a scary mid-table / relegation battle for us. I've never thought I would see these days.
I don't think we'll ever get
Never
relegated,
this
bro.
way.
Like, that's not gonna happen.
I also don't think it will happen, but we're
If
just.
we continue like this, 100%.
Not
I'm
happen.
gonna put my tinfoil hat on. I think we're too big to get relegated. I think some way or another will be helped.
No, bro.
Just like
No,
some other club after they had a fiasco in, what was it, 2011-12, I think. They should have been relegated. That also didn't happen. So,
It's not gonna happen.
I don't think so either.
Maçlar bizimdir beyler.
We'll
We
magically
will win
become
the
fourth.
relegation championship in May.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
Yeah. Okay, I think, is there any other important points you want to bring from the game we had today? I mean, in the end, it's been a 1-1. Maybe we can check the predictions. What we had.
I don't think anybody got it right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone got this one.
Go ahead.
No, I think one person did, but not completely. You know, they got the result, but not the exact score.
Who did?
Who could it be?
Oh,
I'm
you?
trying to find it.
No, it's not me. No, it's actually not me. It's not me.
Emre?
It's our.
It's
No,
our
I said
host who's
3-1
on,
win.
It's Summit.
who's on,
That was
medication.
Summit's prediction. He said it was going to be 3-3 or something crazy, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. exactly.
A lot of goals,
see.
he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I couldn't account to Torrent's ball holding game. That means I got how many points?
Well, I think you got 1 point, right?
2.
I mean, it's your.
How's that 2?
How's it 2? It's either 1 or 3. I think.
1 or 3.
He wants to give himself bonus points.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, that means that Salih's in the lead. Damn, correct scores, huh? Okay.
I got
Big
1
brain.
correct.
Big
And
brain.
one
I got 1 correct, too. What do you mean? I
I
should
know.
be
Okay.
tied with
Basically,
them,
everyone said we would win except for me. I said draw, 3-3. Good.
no? Even
Well,
when I try
not
to be
good.
an optimist.
He's like good.
You
Like,
know,
yes,
not
I got
good.
the points.
Not good.
The problem now when we give our predictions, like I'm sure we're about to give our predictions for the next match as well, but the problem is like we're due for a win. Like I want to predict we're gonna win every single time because we're due for a win. Like when is the friggin' win coming?
Inshallah.
I expected it to be this game, and I was hoping
Wait,
it would be this
I
game.
want to hear Yasin first. Göztepe match. I think
Wait.
last time you said we should have an easy win because Kayseri was playing Turkish Cup and stuff. So what do you think we will do with Göztepe match?
2-1 win.
2-1. Yeah, Salih, you wanted to say something as well?
I mean, I can just give my prediction. I was thinking of to say something, but
Yeah,
I think
say
we'll.
it, say it. It's our show,
yeah.
bro. You can do whatever you want.
I think we'll win 2-1 as well. I think we did that last time as well. I think it will be the same score. As you said before, defense is not the best, so I expect to concede 1. And but we're gonna outscore them. This time we will against El Maestro.
Okay. Emre, what do you say?
I think we will tie 1-1.
Oh, so dramatic, Emre.
Says the guy who did a draw for this match.
I don't recall us really doing well when we were away.
Mm-hmm. Down under.
Saying 2-2 draw, brother.
Brother.
Oğlum, not good, all these things.
Have we been doing good for the past 3 months? I don't know what you've
Yeah,
been
not
watching, bro.
I don't know. You're the one
Yeah.
that sees the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I figured you'd be more.
I said
Yeah,
after,
where's
after
that light, bro?
the light is gonna come like a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months after. You guys like talking about Guardiola, but Guardiola's been at Man City for 7 years, 6 years.
Yeah, how much did he spend?
Yeah, I know.
$1 billion on players alone.
It'll be fine.
If Summit doesn't forget about me again, I'll give my prediction.
Yeah.
No, I was
Summit's
just-
like, who are you?
Come on, one
awesome.
episode you say we're here with our special coach John, and this.
Yeah, no, go ahead, yeah. John.
let me,
Yeah.
let me thank you. Let me say this. I agree that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we are on our way to the end of the tunnel. We're on our way to the light. We're not there yet. So, I am going to say another 1-1 draw, and then I think the game after against Rize, I think we will arrive at the end of the tunnel.
We better fuck them so hard.
We have to.
Exactly.
You lose that one, there's no like
Yeah.
saving grace for
Yeah,
you at
yeah.
that point.
Like
Yeah.
8-0, bro. Like 9-0, bro. 10-0, something like that. Bro.
Yeah. So I'll say 1-1 for our next match.
All right.
Which isn't, it's not unfair, right? Like, Göztepe is going to be a tough game. I can't really say, this is a must-win game, or no, this is going to be an easy win. No, Göztepe is actually in form, so I think fair to say it's Could be
It's
a draw.
true. They're in form as well. However, they are below us on the table, so the result will be pretty. Actually, no, they still have to play a game. They might be above us at the time we play them, so it's gonna be a really important game, that's for sure. Like all of our games, by the way. But right,
Yeah.
Samet, Mister on medication. What do you predict?
Didn't he already predict?
Um, um, I don't see us winning with the
Mhm.
game we're playing at the moment.
Not surprising.
We have our full squad. We have Gomes. I think depending on if Gomes stays the 90 minutes, and depending how Göztepe play against us, I mean they have a pretty good win streak, like I said. So I'ma go for a draw,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say, "Oh my God, no! You guys have 1-1 as well." Mm.
Yeah.
Join
The
us.
end,
Join us.
Yeah,
Join the
I'm
gang.
gonna have to say 1-1, man. I don't see us
Alright.
winning with this game.
So 1-1 draw as well. So it
Mhm.
seems like that Yasin and me are the only optimists for now. Hopefully you guys will join us instead of we joining you. But yeah, that wraps it up, I guess. We got our predictions out.
Any closing ideas, thoughts, or things you wanted to throw out there?
Yeah. Never take medicine before a podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no.
What do you mean by
Apologize.
that?
I kept on drinking sake, soju, or whatever. It's pretty good, but I apologize. It doesn't make any sense to do this. I don't know who came up with this idea. So, to our beautiful and wonderful and lovely listeners who have been listening to us all this time, if you enjoyed our podcast and if you'd like to react or give us any questions or if we should discuss any topics in our next episode, please follow us at the Lions Den GS. We're on Instagram and Twitter, so you can easily find us there and communicate with us, and we'll do our best to reply. And yeah, that was it. You guys want to say bye or any endings?
Take care,
Right,
guys.
folks. See you next time.
Stay safe.
Bye.